Hello YouTubers, this is ATSF3415DVR or Doug, and today, as you can see, I'm finally back, and I have a new O-gauge layout. And behind the camera for the first time in about 3 years is...
682 Charlie, also known as Chris.
Alright, let's go ahead and get started with this layout update. Okay, here you can see the HO layout. No, I haven't dismantled it or anything. I've just moved it into my old train room, which is in the room right next door to the O-gauge train room. And as you can see, I haven't really done much to it, and that's why I haven't included it in this layout update. But I just wanted to let you guys know that it is still here, and in the future it will have more updates. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start off with a few new items. First of all, as you may have seen, is my MTH Premier Norfolk Southern Veterans SD60. This is such a nice engine, I can't even explain how nice it is. And then also, to go along with it, you can see back here, I have the matching bay window caboose. Then also, in this freight train here, we have this MTH Rail King Pennsylvania round roof boxcar. Then I have a few of the Menards flat cars. There are 4 Pennsylvania Menards flat cars, and also one that you can see here that has an army van on it. Then as we move back through the train, we also have this MTH Rail King Milwaukee Road Reefer. Alright, now let's go ahead and move on to some other new items. Okay, now we'll be moving on to some Owen 30 stuff that I've acquired. First of all is this Bachmann Spectrum Owen 30 440. And I got this from Train World back in November when they were having a sale on it. So on the new layout, one of its main features will be an Owen 30 narrow gauge line. And as you can see over there, we have some Code 83 flex track that I'll be using for the narrow gauge line. I also picked up a few passenger cars to go with the engine, as well as a few freight cars. Okay, now for the part that you've all been waiting for, which is of course the new layout. It is 8 by 12 feet, and this middle space here that I'm in, where I operate the layout, is 3 by 5 feet. It is composed of a few different tables. Over here we have a 4 by 8 table. Right here is a 3 by 6 table. And down here at the end is a 2 by 8 table. This small table right here is 1 by 3. And this last table is 2 by 6. And as you can see, they're all joined together to make this 8 by 12 layout. All the track is Gargraves. The curves on the outside loop here are 063, and these switches, I have one here, and also another one on the other side, are 11 degree switches, so that would be number 5, I think. And yeah, all this track, as you can see, there's cork roadbed underneath. A lot of it had to be hand cut in order to get it to fit into the track plan. I used a hacksaw to do that. So yeah, that's basically it for the track plan. Now I'll go ahead and show you some about the benchwork. Okay, so for the benchwork on this layout, I used a technique that I learned from a friend, Javen Schmucker. And as you can see here, the legs are comprised of 2 1x4s in a sort of L shape. And then they have 1x2 braces coming off of the leg. And then I have 14 legs on the whole layout. We have 6 on the 4x8 piece that you're seeing here. We have 2 on the 3x6, 2 on the 2x6, and then we have 4 on the 2x8. And that's the total of 14 legs. For the fascia plate, I use 1x4s, and as you can also see underneath the layout here, we have 1x4s for the framework. And the plywood for the top of the layout is 1/2 inch. Here we're looking at the new control panel that I built. It is a 1x3 piece of plywood, and then built a small frame under it, and I have some cord around here for the edging. And one of the sort of nifty features of this shelf is that it can be pulled out for when I'm using it, and then so it won't get in the way, I can go ahead and push it back in. Now as you can see here, I have my DCS set up, my Legacy, and yes, I know I am using a CW80, but that is only temporary. Okay, so now you can see the main wiring barrier strip that I have to connect to all of the track. It is an 8-position barrier strip, and the jumper is cut in half. So here you can see we have our outside rail, and here we have our center rail. And all this wire is 14 gauge, and this is single strand wire for most of the layout. But the wire connecting the TIU to the barrier strip is stranded wire instead of single strand wire. And that's basically it for the wiring. Here we have the track plan for the layout, and as you can see there are trees placed throughout the track, and that is to indicate the location of the different wiring where the wires are connected to the track. So far I only have the outside loop done, as you can see there. But eventually there will be an inside loop. That's what I'm going to work on next. It will have 054 curves. Then right here we have an engine terminal. There will be an engine house right here. This will be a diesel servicing siding. And then down here is a place where I'll have my tank filling station as well as my tank car accident and just things like that. So it's an industrial siding for tank cars. And that's basically the track plan. Now we have a new building for the layout. This is the engine house. It's made by Menards, and as you can see I have a Pennsylvania Railroad sticker on it. It included 30 signs to apply to the engine house. And because I have a lot of Pennsylvania engines, I decided to put the Pennsylvania Railroad logo on the engine house. As you can see, it's very nicely detailed, and it also includes built-in lighting. There's a light at either end, right there, and then there's also lighting inside of the engine house. So I think this was a really nice engine house for me to get. Okay, so now I'll tell you about the theme of the layout. This layout will be modeling the Pennsylvania Railroad, however, it will not be set in the northeastern United States. It will be set in the northwestern United States, in places such as Oregon and Washington State. And the idea is, like, what if the Pennsylvania Railroad had made it all the way to Oregon? And so the name of the layout, I have two ideas. It will be either the Pennsylvania Railroad Cascade Subdivision or the Pennsylvania Railroad Northwestern Subdivision. And I just decided that because I really like the scenery in the Northwest, and of course I have a lot of Pennsylvania engines, but I do like to run like any trains. So that sort of allows me to do just that. Now, we'll go ahead and cut away and run some trains.
Southern's better locomotive. Me too. I've heard the 6920 looks fantastic. Hey, I heard Wick Norman might be here. I really want to thank him for this locomotive. Yeah, they've done so much to hire and support so many veterans. Hi, Mr. Norman. It's really nice to meet you. Thank you so much for supporting our veterans. Please tell everyone at Norfolk Southern, job well done, sir. Listen, we have a lot of veterans working here, and they are an important and valued part of our team. And we at Norfolk Southern appreciate everyone who serves our country.
Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that layout update for the new layout. And yeah, I have been hard at work on it for a few months now. And there will be new changes coming soon with things such as the inside loop and eventually the Owen30 line and some scenery. So, that's all I have for today. This is ATSF 3415 DBR
And 682 Charlie.
signing out. Thanks for watching.